When you're starting out working as a virtual assistant, it is important to niche down and narrow the type of client you're hoping to work for, and here's why. We just had a long conversation about this in my challenge group's coaching call this last week, because for some women, it has felt super easy to narrow down the type of business they want to work for. And for other women, they're like, I don't know. I would be open to working with so many different types of businesses. I don't want to limit myself, right? Their concern is that they're going to limit themselves and possibly miss out on potential clients by narrowing down their search. But the reason that you're not going to miss out on clients by narrowing your search is because you're actually giving yourself direction. You're giving yourself a path. You're giving yourself a guide so that you actually know who it is that you're looking for, the type of business you're looking for, what type of client, just like who they are as a person that you're looking for. If you don't have that in mind when you jump into the wild, wild west of the internet in hopes of finding potential clients to talk to, you're not going to find any clients because you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like a small fish in a very, 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 very big sea. It's going to feel frustrating and you're probably going to give up. But a very key thing to keep in mind, y'all, is that just because you're narrowing your search to get started. Okay, so let me give an example of narrowing your search, right? Let's say you're like, I would love to work with coaches. I would love to work with people who coach other humans and individuals on how to get better, right? Okay, but let's narrow that down even more. When it comes to coaching, right, we have coaches for pretty much every aspect of life these days. So are you wanting to work with someone who does business coaching, someone who does social media growth coaching, someone who does marriage coaching, life coaching, manifestation coaching, parenting coaching, baby-led weaning coaching, baby sleep coaching, macro coaching, health and wellness coaching? Like, y'all get my drift here. If you just say, I want to work with someone who coaches, but coaches what, right? Because if you just go on social media, if you go on the internet and just try to find coaches, you might feel like you're giving yourself more opportunity, but in reality, you're just giving yourself more overwhelm. Okay, but the key thing to remember that I got distracted and went on my own tangent without mentioning, that you're not locked in to this decision forever. This is a starting point, okay? You're not married to the fact that, let's say you decide you want to work with people who do macro coaching. Fantastic. That's a huge ass market. There's tons of macro coaches out there who would love the help of a virtual assistant. But that doesn't mean that because you make that decision right now, that you'll only ever work with macro coaches. It means that you're giving yourself a starting point. You're giving yourself a path and an avenue to focus on. I was in a one-on-one call last week with a girl who was having this exact issue, and she was saying, I'm not sure, I can't decide. And we talked about how you can't drive safely if you're trying to pay attention to what's happening in all 4 lanes of a 4-lane highway, right? You can't. It's not possible. It's not safe. You will get distracted. You will get overwhelmed. You will miss something. It will give you anxiety. She needs to focus down to 1 lane. You need to focus your efforts into 1 lane. It doesn't mean the other lanes disappear forever. It doesn't mean you can't change lanes in 6 months or 9 months or 2 years, right? But you need to pick a lane, and that's actually a huge blessing for yourself because now you have a plan, now you have focus. Now when you go out to find potential clients, you're doing so with intention. And that intention is going to reduce your overwhelm. It's going to reduce your anxiety. It's going to increase the amount that you can engage with potential clients and start conversations with potential clients. Overall, it truly is the best move. So that is a key piece of advice I would give, is that you do need to narrow, you do need to niche down in the type of business and the type of business owner you want to work with, but you're not stuck there, okay? There's always room for change. We can always adapt. We can always evolve. So don't let yourself panic in feeling like you're going to be missing out on something else, because you're not, I promise. I also am realizing that when I slurped up my shrimp scampi at lunch, that it made left a nice little mark there. So I'm going to go use my 4-year-old's magic stain remover and hope that the shit comes out.